そうだ、味方だぜ。
Hello, and welcome everyone to D6, where I, Ocean, bring together a bunch of friends from across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show. I'm just gonna do the quick Patreon thank you, as I want to thank all of our patrons over on Patreon who continue to support me and all the projects that I do. We're currently just sitting right below that $1,500 goal, and we're getting very, very close. So if you guys are interested in helping out the future and hopefully the next campaign, please do go check out the Patreon. Links are always down below. So, I'm not gonna do anything too special, so players, you may awaken. Me.
Hello.
Hello. I don't think that there is any major thing going on, so I just am gonna have us just jump right into it. So, where we had last left off. As our adventurers, after succeeding in taking down Holligan, searched for answers in hopes to figure out either how to kill, contain, or remove Roya, the king of Lemuria. After finding a dragon's tower, or the primordial dragon Lux, who has been a record keeper, decided to traverse to the Underdark, meeting Ilias Trei, a old god who had been basically rebuilding her community, and also finally speaking with the gods, understanding secrets that have been kept for thousands of years, learning of Roya's true heritage in association to Canis, and finally reaching the Dawnrite, the vault of the first mind. After visions and interactions, receiving the gods' blessings as well as their last artifacts, the party was sent down, having found out that they had been there for longer than they expected. Upon their return, they found out that the country of Lemuria has reappeared from where it had first appeared, over Lycia Bay, now slowly moving towards Orario. The vision shows that Roya is planning to finally end what he had started. And that leaves all of you. So, as always, what would you all like to start to do in these next 3 days?
Well, I need to know how Low Vandal is doing. It's been a year.
I mean, if there's anybody that would be able to put you into communication with the Medians, you could.
How can I do that?
Do you have any magical means?
Myself? I have no sending spells.
Do I have that memorized? Actually, I don't think I had it memorized because I had the headman that did that shit for me. At least I think the circlet did it.
Yeah.
Did the circlet have sending or did I have sending?
I think you had sending because doesn't look like I had it.
Yes, I do have it.
Alright.
Can you lower the music a little bit, Garo?
Oh.
Thank you. So, Canis, can you help me out here?
What do you
Yeah,
need?
we're in your house and everything, but I kinda need to know how Lobando is doing.
Fair enough. What do you want me to ask directly?
Thinking. Maybe that to my uncle, or I don't think Gersa will be there right now. Yeah, we need to be the we need to be the uncle, gardener.
All right.
What was the name?
Uh,
I
good God.
completely.
Oh, NPC list.
Calroon?
Calroon. I believe.
Yeah, Calroon.
Yep. Calroon.
Yeah, Uncle Calroon should know.
All right. What would you like to tell Uncle Calroon?
Calroon. I guess it's going to be coming from your perspective. Calroon. River is back. We took longer than anticipated. Unexpected travel. Is everything okay in Lobando? Do I need to go now? I think that should be enough.
Alright. So, Canis, as you relay this message, it takes about a few minutes before a return sound comes through your mind. The people are in panic. There is a giant floating city that we can see, and while the city has been growing and repairing it, there is a entrenched fear. We do not need immediate assistance for the time being. We hope to see you soon.
Okay. God, I would like to ask you to waste another spell slot, but I'm not gonna make you do that.
I don't even think you got all of their message because I think it cuts off at "we do not need." It's 25 there and 25 back.
Whoops.
Close enough.
Close
It's not like he's
enough.
given an itinerary of how the spell works.
Yeah.
Whoops.
He just
Took
gets a
shit out of my
dial
uncle.
tone after he says a couple words.
Fucking spell sendings. Fucking message spells, really. Alright.
Very well. Well, good things. They are in panic, but only because of the flying city, which is, normal.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
You know how your city's faring.
probably need to visit Dominic personally.
That's
And
why.
see if the school is even open anymore. Been away for a whole year.
Oh god, what if all your students are dead?
Her face
just
just
gone.
falls. All that work, and we've been gone for a blasted year. You'd think that the gods would have a little bit more insight as to, dropping us off in the future. Pity's sake.
Looks at the sky, waves his fist. What happened?
He just like, comes out of nowhere in a daze.
Oh, Garo.
We're
Welcome
just-
back.
Grumbling about the gods' lack of good choices.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a few bad choices right here. So what are we gonna do about that?
By the way, is it daytime?
It is daytime.
Yeah, what time is it?
It is early morning.
Is it a
Somewhere
sunny
around
day?
like, it's a sunny day.
Ah, Garu! Ah,
What?
you're so damn shiny right now.
I am?
Yeah.
Ah.
What? And just to fill me in, because I deadass just like fucking woke up like 20 minutes ago, could you remind me about what exactly happened to Garu? Please?
Oh.
He's gold. He's gold and shiny.
So beneath your purple scales almost shine like golden light. It's kind of like below. Like,
Oh, he's not gold.
yeah, he's
So
not
he's
like,
not Goldie yet.
He's not pure gold. It's just that
Oh.
his scales have almost like each scale has a small lining of gold.
Oh, good.
Wait, Ducky takes a closer look. This gives me an idea. Go, would you like to perform a little experiment in town?
Sure.
Perfect. She grabs him by the ear then they head into town.
But I don't have ears.
Sterling kind of reaching out.
Got a horn.
River looks at Hillian and Kane. So we have 3 days.
Yeah, supposedly. Yes. Can only hope there's anything at all to stall, but yes, we have to assume the worst.
Well, it's going to be a tree falling in the way here, and they're going to have to go around it.
You never know. He's dragging the whole city.
Mm.
I imagine that's not exactly easy.
I do have other people that I have to tell besides you finding out that Lowbandle's in panic.
Yes.
And I have to contact my family and do something else here.
Wait.
We only have
Wait,
3 days,
what?
right?
Wait, what are you doing? You're outside grabbing. You're outside with Ducky.
He's resisting it. He's just like standing. He's
Like,
just
you
standing there.
He's grabbing onto the door frame.
It's just like just like being like dragged out. It's like, but I had to contact my family.
I have backstory. No.
Gaur.
Don't worry, Garu. We'll go back to Lowbandle.
Wait, Gaur, we can do this. Gaur, I know it. I have a teleport spell, you know. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Wait, a teleport spell?
Yes. And I'm not
You know-
afraid to use it.
He's gonna crouch down a bit. Do you know how far it can go?
Pretty far.
Like an entirely different country far?
The sky's the limit.
Hmm.
Seriously, the sky's the limit.
Teleport to the sky, fold dice.
All right then, but once we're done with this little experiment, I need to ask you a favor.
Sure. And trust me, this little experiment's gonna make us rich.
It will?
Maybe.
Well, we can just borrow stuff from Canis.
I like once in a while, Gaur, I like to have money on my own.
Good,
that
keep
would
that
be-
thought.
Closes the door of his house.
Let's go. Now go. Let's go out on an adventure.
All right, Sterling, just contact the family. I'll be right back.
On it. Well, by the way, Master Canis, if I may be so bold, I have been functionably keeping your books well and organized. However, I will charge a fee for my services.
Understandable, since you've been working here the previous year.
Yeah,
That is much
it's-
appreciated.
Was it a contract?
Well, not really a contract, just kind of an obligation, and also to highly impress Master Garu as well.
I'm not
take
going
much
to go into the
impress.
master bedroom and find out you've moved in there, am I?
Of course not. However, it's been well maintained, cleaned, made sure that nothing is dusty. I like every place to be clean. And you can definitely see the floors are much shinier than they used to.
Shiver looks outside. Well, the garden is still overgrown.
He's one tiny lizard.
Hey!
What? I'm defending you. You can only clean so much.
Fair. In either which direction. Also, there have been various insightful opportunities for business that I haven't thrown any money at, but should they become something optional after whatever the hell's going on over there, perhaps that conversation later. I'll start making some arrangements with the Grimlock family, and then I will also put out some contacts to see who can possibly help us right now.
Very good.
Right. Well then, back to work. As you can see, as he's beginning to climb back up the stairs of the foyer, you can hear the slight jingling of glass and metalware as there is a slow-moving older Jeeves now approaching. Master Canis!
Oh gosh, she's still alive.
Amazing.
Yes.
I might be old, but I have plenty of fortitude. In either which way, here's your morning tea, as well as a great deal of letters you had been receiving for the past year. I kept record of them.
How many are there?
About 80.
Oh,
Helena,
Yes.
we need to go check on your guild.
There's a lot
Come
of things
on.
that I...
Let's go. Canis has paperwork to do.
I do. Might as well be off doing that. I have plenty of other reading to do. I'll need to talk to Dominic about that too.
If you need help, I am willing to help.
You have your other affairs to sort out first.
It's true.
We're one call away.
Go ahead of me, River. I'll be right there.
I don't know where it is.
Hmm?
I've never gone there.
What do you mean? To Dominic's?
No, I'm in your guild.
Oh. She'll point in the general direction. I'll meet up with you momentarily. This won't take long.
Okay, I'll see you at Dominic's then.
And once River leaves, she's gonna turn back towards Canis. Do want to make sure of one thing.
I'm staying by the door, by the way.
Okay.
I'm eavesdropping like the little shit that Helena is.
Make a stealth check.
Ah, shit, what?
We just see like half her face peeking out the side of the door.
Yeah. We're rolling that one.
Oh, every game.
I hate rolling.
but you love rolling. That's why you're a halfling.
You roll so much
fuck
because you
yourself.
fuck it up so much.
18.
That beats my passive.
Yeah, mine too.
Alright, so if you guys aren't actively looking for River,
Nah.
Alright.
Helena probably wouldn't care that much.
I'm playing Helena right now.
You're going to be okay with all of this.
I don't exactly have a choice now, do I?
Well, technically no, but considering the last conversation where you always say that you don't feel like you've had a choice in the matter, for once I want to ask.
Thank you.
So are you going to be okay?
As okay as I need to be.
She nods. You thought more about what I asked you way back when.
What about?
What do you want to do?
Well, the first thing I truly want to do is fix this goddamned mess my father left me to fix. And knowing him, he's probably got plenty more for me to deal with.
Oh, that's not what I asked, though. Canis, ignore your father. What do you want to do?
I don't think I've had control of my life long enough to figure that out.
Now listen. As far as I'm concerned, if we manage to survive this whole mess, I think you've earned the right to be at least a little bit selfish. She'll kind of hold his chin. You really are too nice. Do something for yourself. Think about it. She smirks a little bit. And if you'd like a little bit of inspiration, if we do survive all this, how about we go out to dinner sometime?
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Lovely. Now, I'll leave you to all of your lovely paperwork.
Yes.
I'll be back to assist in a little bit. Right now, though, I need to see if my school is actually still alive.
And I need to see who's been badgering me with mail the last year.
Good luck, dear.
And to you.
She'll give him a wink. She'll kind of hold his chin for just a second longer than necessary, and then she'll let go and walk out.
Alright. So, I'm gonna start with Garu and Ducky, as you two are heading out into the city. And you guys begin to hear a lot of chattering, because some news is starting to travel fast.
So, what exactly is it that you want to do again? We're kind of short on time.
Oh, that's quite easy, Garu. Have you ever heard of the artist community?
The what? The artist community?
Like artists in general. Did you know that there was back in my back in the Ruby Enclave, there was an artist that literally grabbed a piece of paper, spilled a can on the paper, and called it art. He sold it for several gold, Garu. Several gold.
Okay, that just seems like a standard price, but what does that have to do with us?
My point is, people in the artist community, you're able to do whatever you want for the artist community, and they'll buy it. So, my dear friend, we're going to convince people that you're a statue. Then we're going to sell you to those artists, and then once they put you in a home, I'll use a teleport spell to get you out of there. And then if they ask, well, what happened to my statue? We tell them that it's a limited edition statue that'll disappear within a couple of minutes.
Garu's just gonna stop walking and just look with the most, as much as he possibly can, the most confused and fucking bewildered face possible. His fucking horns are gonna contort and he's gonna look. That's a terrible idea.
You don't know artists, Garu.
Well, I mean, we don't have time for this.
Garu, do you know we can possibly make a main go from this?
Well, I'm sure we can do that later, but you have to consider this. The castle is on its way right now. We only have 3 days. We have to get our affairs in order.
Garu. We'll be able to knock this out within an hour or two. Trust me, Garu. Nothing could go wrong. By the way, do you have a top hat?
A what?
A top hat. Do you have a top hat?
No. I'm sure I can wear any kind of hat.
Oh well, I'll just conjure a magical hat with a mustache and a cane, I guess.
I'm not sure that's the kind of public image I want, but
Okay.
before he keeps moving, he's gonna like bend over to Docky. But you owe me 2 favors for this. Hopefully it's something that can be easily done.
Yeah, sure, girl. Anything for my friend. Now I need you to stand still and pretend you're a statue, and I'll move for 1 or 2 hours. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. She looks for the nearest person.
Daki, in this scenario in which you are trying to convince people that Garu is a statue,
As you were walking down the road with the walking statue.
I need... Well, first of all, Garu, I need you to make a deception check.
What? Okay.
To be a convincing statue. He's not...
That ain't
he
gonna
doesn't... Yeah.
That will not do shit. I got a fucking 4.
So, you do your best to kind of hold still, but, like, you could definitely still tell, like, he's kind of bending to the breeze, and, like, he's fluid like water. You know, that's what monks kind of are. And then,
Let's see.
Daki, I need you to make a persuasion check with disadvantage. Because you're trying to convince that this man is a statue.
I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
He's not even that gold. He's just has this fucking
There's always
color.
There's always a plan B, Gar. There's always a plan B. All right, so I have my D20 and I need to roll deception check. You said?
No, roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Persuasion. Okay. See, 16, 15.
Even with the 15, you try to almost barter Garu as this, this beautiful, well-sculpted, and just near lifelike statue. However, anybody that gets close enough to realize that this, blind dragonborn man is still breathing, they're quickly not convinced. And there isn't
Garu, why you keep breathing?
Well, I mean, it's... I told you this isn't really a good idea.
Let's see. There must be another way.
I'm going to say that is an interesting attempt at an amazing prank, but unfortunately, we don't have too much time to spend on it.
We have. Okay.
Daki, I really need to get going. I gotta contact my family. I have to find the Temple of Palor of all things. Plus, I feel really weird and I don't know what's going on because I can't see my body and just... there's so much going on.
Garu. It's alright, Garu. It's alright, Garu. We have plenty of time.
We only have 3 days. And a year has already passed.
Garu. It's alright, Garu. It's alright. It's alright. We have plenty of time. And I got another idea.
Well, we'll put it... we'll let you try and have your misadventures, however, I cannot assure that they will succeed.
Damn.
I do apologize, but there are pressing matters forward in us. Alright, so, I'm going to move to Helena, as your circumstances a little bit farther.
Almost immediately trips over as she walks out the door.
What are you talking about? I'm a
What do you
bird.
think? Nah, would she have moved fast enough?
He never said she was a bird up until now.
I rolled a 6, so I'm going to say no.
Just hear a crashing noise outside the door.
And
River?
she just looks at you with that SpongeBob face.
The smug SpongeBob.
The smug SpongeBob face.
So, as you guys head to...
I'd be disappointed with you if I wasn't so impressed that you actually managed to hide.
Why, thank you.
She-
Congratulations.
Gal pals.
On what? I haven't done
Wait.
anything.
You were taking your time with that one.
She raises her eyebrow. I didn't take my time. I rather think I was quite obvious.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
She'll stand up and she'll hoist River up as well. Anyway.
Alright, so, as you guys travel to your, to Helena's Guild, everything there is... It's troubling to look at. Upon entering, you do take note that there is a few more members as, like, your leading man is kind of just keeping things as calm as possible, as you have now an intelligence network. It's not a strong one, but it's a useful one. And as soon as you enter, all faces begin to look towards you.
She'll just breathe a sigh of relief that there are actually still people here. Ah. Everybody's here. And with new members, no less.
Not gonna lie, I was expecting to find out just a sea of corpses.
Not gonna lie, I kind of was too.
Well, as the
Hi.
the human man who you had met before approaches, it's good to see you, Mistress Helena. There have
Just Helena.
Helena. There have been many things going on, but we thought it best to kind of keep things together, and we knew that you were going out on a rather dangerous mission, and if anything happened, we were a little convinced between the three of us, and the original three that you had found kind of began to shake their heads, that we would continue to try, and we didn't want to fall back into our old lives, so try to make better ones here. But
She'll clap him on the shoulder and do the same with the others. I'm proud.
and we've been expanding, by the way. We have 4 new members over here. As you begin to see, there is a Goliath man who is fairly well tattooed and also kind of soft in the face, very warm looking. That there is Jorgander. This here is Jamil, and you can see this very young looking tiefling woman, long red hair, very bright reddish skin, very nice eyes, cloven feet, and a very, very long whippy looking tail. Another one is a dwarven woman, as she is fairly thin comparative to the rest of the dwarven race, as she is very to the best of that detail. Her name is Rockschmeyer. At least that's how she likes to detail herself. And as well as a halfling girl. Bright red hair, and very familiar to you, River.
She's the one that was captured.
Mm-hmm. As she has come back, and she is interested as to why Orario is so special.
Would you look at that?
Lena looks pleased as a peach. Oh, this is wonderful. It's a little bit run down, but that'll be easily fixed.
Well, we have had our run in with trouble here and there, specifically with the Eclipse Eye.
I figured as much. This was what I was worried about. But frankly, this is much better than I expected. Haven't been too awful, have they?
A little bit of sabotage here, some underhanded dealings there, but nothing that we couldn't fix immediately.
Well, that's good. I think it's time to get a one-up on them, then. And really start to show our stuff.
Alright. Well,
I trust you've noticed the castle that's on its way. Or heard about it at the very least.
As the halfling girl steps up, some of our friends over in Lobondel had been detailing certain forms of panic.
Alright, well, I think it's time to get as much information as we can, then. We're going to try to help this city, and anybody else who needs it on the way. We need as much information on that castle as possible.
Alright, all of them do a very sudden bow, almost as if like they've created something ritualistic with this guild. And they all look back up. Alright, let's move. It's all of them getting their command to seek out information on what is happening and what to do. So I will relay that later.
Okay.
Yeah, can you lower the music a little bit more? Like,
Oh.
I don't know why it's getting so loud out of nowhere.
Pretty
So
loud
there's-
on the streams then, too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so, with that being covered, anything else while you're kind of walking around the guild?
Eventually I'd want to go to Dominic's, but I don't know if we want to try to do that all at once or what.
I'd imagine everyone will be converging at Dominic's.
Okay.
So, because at least with Garu and Daki out in the city right now, I think it has been detailed before, so we'll get there when we get there.
Yep, that is
Right.
fine.
I was actually curious about the halfling girl. Like, just passing by the question, like,
Oh.
didn't people, like, what happened to the Rite refugees? Like, didn't they go to Lobando or something?
Well, we've been spending a lot of time, I caught word of what was happening here, and with you guys saving me, I thought it best to start learning, and I did. I've been helping anybody that was affected by the kidnappings to make their way back home. And it's been a long process, but it works.
Okay, just need to be sure. I didn't know what happened to the refugees after the whole debacle, so...
From what you can get from a longer form of detail out of this is that over the course of 6 months, there were a lot of people who were refugees here coming to find out that Lobondel was being rebuilt, and considering that they need a home and Orario isn't ultimately their home, they decided to head back. This halfling in specific decided to stay behind to learn the art of roguelike tactics in order to not let happen what had happened before.
Gotcha. I was just curious about it.
Yep. Alright. Canis.
Here.
All the letters that you have been getting have been very interested parties in your money. Investments, mostly. On some occasions, they are people that are just renting from you as a form of just assuring that payments were made, or that there have been some problems like general infestations and just like, hey, can you come by and have somebody take care of this? while most of these letters are relatively direct, any other problems were relayed to Sterling and taken care of via your bill. And
So it's not like a landlord that just ghosted them for a year.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's basically Sterling has been acting on retainer for a while.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you can still see him going through an uncouth amount of paperwork. Canis, you hear a knock at your door. Or at least somebody is knocking at the front door of your mansion.
I'll check it out.
As you begin to rush down, you see a familiar face, a tiefling face. It is the owner of the home next to yours. And you can see she is not happy.
Ah, Miss Hope. What do I have to owe this visit for?
Master Canis, I am in need of your immediate assistance.
What's wrong?
My eldest daughter is in my house, bleeding on my floors.
Candace will run past her.
Alright, as you break past the road, you legitimately dodging through some of the upper royals within these streets. As you enter, you can see there is Lacilia on the staircase, basically holding together a wound in her stomach as she is shaking and barely breathing.
My own hands. That's 20 health she gets back.
Alright. As you put your hands down, you can see the wound beginning to slowly close together and leaving a noticeable scar that's trying to heal itself together. And you see the eyes open as she looks at you. He came. He came.
I'd say I had perfect timing. Who came?
Falu. He came. He came back.
Of course he did.
They attacked within the castle, and he tried to... Initially, tried something, but... I fought, and then I managed to have one of my mages teleport me here. Oh, God. As you see, she's trying to get up and holding her wound. You can see the mother as she's slowly reapproaching. Where have
Games
you
will
been?
help her up.
Where have you been?
It's a long story. More time nonsense about plane traveling. I take it it was quite sudden.
Moments ago. Very sudden.
I'm not sure why he would do that. At least now. I suppose he didn't want you helping me in what's going to be happening within 3 days.
What are you talking about?
That castle over Lycia Bay is coming to Orario within the next 3 days.
She begins to kind of scroll something in the air as she's trying to pull something out from anywhere, and As soon as her mind comes back to her. The castle in the sky.
Yes.
She begins to kind of pull up. I can't leave behind my people.
I'm aware of that.
And I most certainly can't just go back right now.
You're not exactly in the condition to help anyone right now.
Her holding her wound.
Let's get you inside.
To your place. I hope this isn't an invitation to dinner either.
No.
She looking at her mother. Sorry? Kind of a sour turn of faces before they walk past each other. You lead her back to your home.
Is that really how you want to leave it with your mother?
Our relationship has always been very distasteful. I do love her, but I don't like her. And she very much does not like me, at least for the decisions I've made.
Are you sure about that?
Looking at you. Are you going to impart me wisdom?
Well, the first thing you did after almost dying was be teleported to your mother's doorstep. So you clearly want to do something before you died. Or was that just completely random?
It's the only other place that I could have gone.
So you still have at least some sense of safety here, don't you?
Some temporary means, at least left behind by Arya. But clearly, if an army couldn't stop him, I can't imagine he'll stop here.
Well, I did just come back just in time now, didn't I?
He's growing more vicious. The fact that he would even attack any royal.
He's past the point where he has to care about whether or not you're royalty. In 3 days, either everything is going to be over, or he's going to be dead. So I guess he's either getting in his last ditch at... I suppose attacking you out of spite or fun or whatever he had against you.
Well then... in 3 days, we should kill him proper then.
Right. Oh, by the by, I learned that I have a brother now.
You what?
That's about how I took it too. You remember that Lumerian that we were talking about? The one that's behind all of this?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my family was fucked up.
Yes, because now you know who my half-brother and my father are. You can see how I turned out.
Well, at least you're not trying to destroy everything. At least for the way you detail it.
How would you detail it?
But at least you care. That you care about everyone. need a drink and a bed. Beginning to still hobble into your house.
That I can help with. And he's going to help her to somewhere on the first floor that has a bed.
A very glorious guest room.
Mm-hmm.
As Jeeves slowly going from the kitchen to this room, providing her with whatever she needs. As the mind does come across that you do have a meeting later today, but with this matter, it's now beginning to settle that whatever Roya is planning, he's taking action now.
Great.
Alright, so do you head over to Dominic's to begin a much more difficult process?
Yeah. Can get that done now.
Alright. All of you begin to slowly converge to Arvello's arcane assets, as you guys see that it is a rather panicked-looking shop, as there is a Dominic kind of going through a lot of his magical items and kind of placing them within his bags or putting equipment away, because he probably knows a lot more than everyone else. As you guys enter, he stops cold and turns to all of you. Friends! A long time, friends! Very long time, my god.
Oh, hello, handsome. How are you?
I have no idea.
So, how have been things?
Nightmarish, garish even. I mean, with the war efforts over in Excelsium, everything that's happening within the city, the council seats being up for election, and also my shop having a rather slight decline in customer input. I've been a little bit more panicked than usual, and also now there's a floating sky castle thing going on, so everything's nightmarish. Oh, why wouldn't I be? I mean, fingers everywhere, my friends, fingers everywhere. Anyways, it's good to see you all fresh faces, but as you can see, I'm slowly packing up and trying to find a very, very quaint place to stay for a temporary amount of time.
Well, before you go,
Would you like my house?
I'm thinking somewhere very far.
I take it you're trying to get away from the castle, aren't you?
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait, is
you're
Garo
there too. Yeah, Garo and
Yeah.
Maki are also here.
Mm-hmm.
I take it he just got tired of, like, standing around for a few hours and, like, started, like, he was just walking towards fucking Dominic's, and she was just trying to drag him back.
Yeah, your attempts at this endeavor does not go well. So as all of you do see that he is kind of just like midway through packing everything.
Well, we need your help.
I mean, I'm always here to help some old friends and sponsored fighters. What may I, Dominic, be able to provide to all of you?
I need some diamonds.
Depending on their worth, I most certainly do have many of those.
500 gold worth. A couple of them, if you don't mind.
We'll be able to get 500 gold if Garo learns to not breathe.
That plan was not going to work, whether you think so.
Helena, looks ever confused.
It was a little Docky moment. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Just continue.
It was a good plan, but not a plan that could have gone well.
See Helena's eyebrow twitch in irritation.
Like, and people were saying I wasn't even truly that gold. I'm not sure what you were trying to accomplish there.
Garu, all I was trying to do was find like a stupid artist that was stupid enough to think that you were a golden statue. That's all I was trying to do, Garu. You won't.
Artists
Yeah.
sell the statues, they don't buy them.
I'm talking about like artists, quote unquote artists. You know those.
Oh.
People that think stuff is art, but when it's really not.
Doc,
No, I'm sorry. Please continue, Helena.
are you taking this seriously?
Yes, I am.
Are you?
There's a city making its way over here to end the world.
And you're trying to run a con.
And we only have 3 days to stop it.
Why would I be worried? We usually succeed in these things. It's not much to worry about.
Is all fine, well and good, Daki, but this could literally be the end of our existence. I need you to focus, alright, and stop doing silly games.
Silly games. I barely done silly games.
She motions to Garu, selling him as a statue.
Other than that, I've been very serious.
Not getting information from the dragon. Wasting a question on a mushroom person.
We could have used that question to literally answer anything else.
Daki, we need you. And we need you to take this seriously. Please.
This is not a situation that is easily overcome. We are coming up against something that is not supposed to be taken with such a light manner.
And we only have such a short time to prepare against it.
How's Dominic reacting to this conversation?
He's a little sweaty at this point.
Slowly, like,
Okay.
sliding out of frame.
You know what?
Docky?
Look at Dominic.
You know what? I honestly helped you guys out numerous times, and you complain I'm not taking this seriously.
No.
Tell you what, if you think I'm not taking this seriously, then then find someone else.
That's not what we meant.
And we don't have time for that either.
Again, 3 days.
Again, if you guys don't think I'm taking this seriously, then you guys can solve this on your own.
As
We don't have many
Dominic
options.
approaches to you, Docky.
No, you don't explain anything because, quite honestly, I came to this party not knowing what type of stuff you guys gone through. I appreciate you guys helping regain my memory, but honestly, I don't even feel like I'm even part of your group at times. Most of the times, you guys shun me out during your conversations. So you asked me to take this seriously? Well, maybe you guys should even take my presence seriously.
Docky, that's not what we meant.
No, that's exactly what you meant.
No, she's right. She'll come nose to nose with Daki. Listen. It has been difficult. I am not going to lie to you.
Then don't bother.
Listen. I understand that memory...
Helena,
You
don't bother.
shush!
Helena, don't bother. I'm out. She just walks out.
Garu's gonna, step in front of her way. Docky, please. I understand what you were trying to do earlier, and I understand, you have been helping us. You've been an incredible help, and, well, quite frankly, can't really do this without you. But you have to understand that the stakes here are so much higher than you think.
No, you guys can. Lana thinks you can. So why bother?
She's trying to help you.
Garu, move out of my way. She walks out.
You reach for the door handle and it remains locked.
Teleports out.
As you try and cast the spell, you see runes all across the shop begin to glow and dissipate your spell. It is my duty at this point to try and concern myself. Docky. I understand the feeling of being criticized. And I understand it feels like you are not a part of all this. It is difficult. And it is very hard. But these people here depend on you. Just as much as you had depended on them.
Again, they don't. Elena can solve everything on her own. River can solve everything on her own. Now, everyone can solve everything on their own in this group. I'm just dead weight for everyone here.
It's not true at all.
You are dead weight. I only want you to take this threat seriously.
Have you ever thought that the way I cope things is way different from you guys? Have you considered that? You expect me to like run around with like a chicken with his head cut off?
I expect you to not try to sell one of our friends as a silly art piece.
One, I know teleportation spells, so even if I sold him, he would have been teleported back to us.
I also expect you to not con the people of the city that is about to be attacked.
I wasn't gonna con everyone in the city, just people who, just literally artists who...
Docky, come on.
This is why I hate elves.
You're an elf, Helena.
I get that.
Look, I understand that things are tight right now. We all have our own way of dealing with this, and, well, sometimes it doesn't really work for others. But we can't afford to, like, drift apart right now. Docky, you may have only been a part of this journey halfway through, but you've been important to all of us. And, well...
No, I have not. I have not, Garu. Wherever
We
over
would have
there,
more than likely died fighting Zahir if you weren't here with us.
wherever over there hates me. Elena hates me.
They don't hate you. You're making assumptions about... Nobody here despises you. Sure, there are some quirks about other... Look, sure, there's some quirks we feel about each other that, well, we don't really take kindly to. I'm sure Canis over there doesn't really like me, well, borrowing his money sometimes, or at least asking for it. But we're still friends.
He's annoying, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, you're still nowhere near as annoying as River.
What? I have nothing to say
Exactly.
about this. River just turned whatever you want from me. He's making sense.
I just imagine she's just silently nodding.
She's like, I still need to pay for those forks I brought.
And then she's just... Yeah,
And
she
those
is a little bit
dolls.
neurotic.
Dominic
Listen, I know
approaches
I'm
again.
pushy. I'm aware that I am very pushy and not always pleasant.
There's a time and place.
If I may ask 2 questions. What have all of you been doing?
For the past year?
Mostly following instructions.
Talking to gods.
Eating
were
in
on
bed.
the road.
That part's interesting.
Bed?
Yeah, I was cursed and stuff. Like we managed to get rid of it. So now I
Yep. We did fix the bed part.
I still have no idea how you actually did that.
I don't remember either.
Well, I could definitely say it's impressive.
Yep.
So if you were all speaking to gods, did anything happen out of that?
A few. She'll look at Dominic. Can I just insight him real quick?
Candace will just reach into his bag and just put the Book of Exalted Deeds on his desk.
Just wham. Giant gold book.
Just casually.
Oh. Oh?
Among other things, that.
Yeah. What was Helena's?
I just want to insight him real quick. Is he who he says he is? Does he seem?
Yeah, is
He's
that the
he's
shimmer we saw last time in this fucker?
There's no shimmer to him. This is his shop, and
It's
if
a.
somebody did something in this shop, they would probably not get out alive. Not normally.
All right. Yeah, it was a 25. I just got
Yeah.
nervous for a second. That's all.
Yeah, like,
he's
completely
curious.
understandable.
He's curious as to the god talk. Doki,
Basically,
if
we have
I
the last
may-
chance. The world has to continue living. You know, no pressure.
There's a lot of pressure, actually.
That is a lot of pressure.
That was sarcasm, Garo.
Doki, may I see your book real quick? Your spell book.
Sure. Go right ahead.
And you hand it to him, and he opens it. Begins to flip through some of the pages. You know, sometimes the thing about importance is if you read between the lines. And every now and again, your importance may not always be what it is presented to you. And he turns over to the pages towards the back of the book. This book used to belong to a friend of mine. When he left, they gave it to you. And now, you have something that nobody else has. You have responsibility. Not just to them, but to this world. He points down to the pages. There are 3 spells to you, Doki, that you begin to notice that are within the tome. There is the Seal of Mistra, the Grand Counter, and Abyssal Vault. Whatever it is that the gods have planned, they have now planned it with you in mind. Whoever these spells are intended for are specifically intended for them. And the only person that can seemingly cast these spells are you. Mistra, while an old and very bright creature, she sees your value. And seemingly nobody else here can do what you're capable of. Each of these bears a responsibility that you will make in the end. As to the rest of you, I feel like that there have been some parts of mistranslation between your friends and Doki. And I believe it is everyone's solemn duty to put anger, ridiculousness, and fervence to rest. You're all about to fight a great battle. Do not let anything else beyond this point split you. And he slams the tome closed and he hands it back to you. That is, unless you still feel like that you do not belong.
Alright then. By the way, Goro, there was no way they would kept you. I was lit.
Oh, yeah.
I have like
I'm aware.
several teleport spells at hand.
Yeah, it's not the
Oh
point.
yeah,
Okay.
perfectly aware.
I get it. Still, I guess I should be taking this a little bit seriously.
That's all
He'll be
we
most appreciated.
Listen, if you want money, we can find different ways to get it honestly.
It wasn't about the money. I just needed some way. I just needed some way to get my mind off this situation.
Well, how about this? Once this is over and done with, let's all have a little bit of a celebration. As a celebration of victory, and well, to get our mind off of what exactly just happened.
You know, I like that, Goro. I like that a lot.
Right. So, for now, he's gonna turn back over to Dominic. On top of the other things that we need upgrades. He's gonna put down his gun and sword.
You do realize it's going to take him more than 3 days, right?
I'll take whatever I can get.
Well, I cannot do any enchantments for the time being. However, the gun does remain unenchanted. I can definitely do something for it.
Do anything you can.
I'll put my artificy work to good use here.
And I know this might be a dumb question, but is there anything you can do with this? He's gonna take off the cloak, his cloak of displacement. But when he does, you notice something on his back. Two giant fucking wing arms, a claw on each shoulder that was like being hidden the entire time.
Did you always have those?
No, the cloak? Well, I've had it for a little while, but I was hoping to get it
Not the-
upgraded.
No, the wings.
The rings, Goro.
The what?
The
Helena's
rings.
He's gonna like
Helena's gonna tug on one of his wings and just spread it out.
what?
Oh.
What? What the? He's gonna like start unfurling his arms and his wing arms, just like start bumping and everything. Where did these come from?
No, you're about to, and you hear one thing just crash over. A pedestal has fallen, and the glass case is broken. Oh no!
I'm gonna try to save as many as
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is a new experience.
I'm gonna try to save as much as I can from falling.
Yeah, you're literally like, you're like a toe with one pedestal. You're holding up a glass case with both your hands, and you're kind of like holding something in your mouth from falling on the ground. Oh,
Where did these come from?
and
I don't know. Where did they?
It's a good.
I don't know. Like, I'm used to having the invisible ones, but these are real. These are real wings.
You're just turning into a dragon.
He might be.
I think.
Honestly, I might think so at this point.
What's with the party and dragons?
Wait, can
Drag.
wait? Could Garu breathe fire?
No,
You
but it
can
could
breathe
breathe acid.
I could breathe acid the entire time. I thought you knew that.
Let's see.
Has he actually done that? I think.
He has. He's
A few times, yeah.
I know.
I know he's done it a few
know.
times, but with Docky Run.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know about the acid, but the fire. Also, can I use religion to check to learn more to like getting more insight into Garo's situation?
I mean, as far as you guys are aware, you do feel significantly different since you got your blessings from your gods.
So
Docky,
different.
in your case, especially with Mistra, you feel like you have a lot more pull on the weave of magic, more than before.
That's weird. Feel kind of different these days. It must be something. It must be something else. It can't
Or
be.
do you also have wings? Or
Yeah, that's kind of the smoking elephant in the room right here.
Garu, dear, I
Just-
think we might need to fold these before we
yeah.
suffocate River.
that's
I
fair.
don't want to. Yeah.
Let's
Put
see.
that away.
Docky-
He's gonna
Docky-
try and reorientate his arms back, his fucking wing arms back on his shoulders.
Docky helps Garu resituate his wing arms back.
Arigato. Well,
All
I
right.
definitely have a.
Before anything else, let's try and start solving some relatively quick problems before things get too out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, your diamonds. At this point, with the way things are looking, I'm going to say I can definitely donate some to you, Helena, as he provides at least 4 of them towards you, Helena.
Ah, wonderful. So 4 of them, and if it's possible, do you have any more?
That's as many as I have on stock right now.
Could I be able to sell? Yeah, it is better than nothing. Could I sell you these? And she's gonna put down the cloak of invisibility and the. Do I want to give her? I should probably keep the dagger just in case. I'll also put down the. Where the heck is it? Where the heck is it? Where the heck is it? The elemental essence gem.
Okay. I mean, the cloak alone is about 3,000 gold pieces. Along with, you are selling the dagger, yes?
I'll keep the dagger of returning.
Okay. And then the shard is pretty much 500 gold pieces, at least for its market price for right now. Because he has no idea what this fucking thing is.
Alright.
Alright, so, that problem solved. Docky, is there anything that you could possibly need from me?
Let's see. You said you know the previous owner of this book, right?
Yes, he returned home, quite a while ago, so...
Wait, he's still around?
Yes, it's been a while since I'd spoken to Lionel in a great time, but I think he's as content as he can be, where he is.
Maybe. I'm assuming that I'll need to talk to him if I want to learn more magic from him. More magic, is that correct?
Not exactly. I mean, I'm your local magic man. If you ever need me, I definitely have as much information as you could possibly desire.
She turns to the last pages of the book. Can you tell me more about this, about these spells in particular? It seemed like you focus the most on them.
Well, much like anybody who has dabbled in the arcane, you can tell when magic pours from something. Especially somebody like me who professionalizes in it. These are not normal spells. They seemingly are beyond what most anyone here can be capable of. Whatever Mistra has done, she's doing it for you. And for what it might be worth, you'll have to make a decision one day on any of these. I can't, per se, read them, but I can see the names. I can tell that they are crafted. Maybe take time to study them.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have some reading to do for the next 2 days.
To which, both you and Canis in this aspect, I can assist with at least being able to read like the wind. As he goes below the counter, as he pulls out a small case of what looks like to be several different kinds of spectacles. These will allow you guys, whatever you need to read very quickly. You can probably get through a massive book within half a day.
I can see that being very useful to any wizard.
Yep.
I only have 3 of these, so if I'm providing you both 2, I like to keep these last ones for myself. He hands you both spectacles.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dominic.
Absolutely. Now, Garu, after you have promptly nearly destroyed my shop.
Yes, sorry about that. To be fair, I wasn't aware of those either. But besides the point, he's gonna put away his sword, but he's gonna keep the gun. He's gonna like turn the gun over to him. I want to get some use out of this. Do whatever you can to make it useful, or more powerful. And as for this, and he's like brings the cloak of displacement. Do you have any more cloaks similar to this?
Nothing that I would have immediately in stock, or at least anything that might be in the immediate open.
Right. Well then, let's focus on the gun for now. And he's gonna put the cloak back on.
Very well. As he grabs hold of the gun, you can see as he begins to kind of look at it and etch his mind into something. And you can see as he brings out some of his tinkerer tools, he begins to kind of take apart the gun, and then as he waves his hand over it, you can see runic scribings begin to induce upon the gun itself. After he's complete, he puts it all back together, and turning the cylinder, it works. I've applied a certain skill in artificy, and I've applied it to this gun here. It will do some extra damage, and also, on top of that, you won't need bullets anymore.
Really?
Yep. This is an actual artificer's skill. It no longer needs to load. It now shoots magical bullets.
Oh shit.
Yep.
And what's the damage boost to it?
It's a +1.
Okay.
So I'll go over that later, but it's like this is something that I've been looking into myself recently, so that's the reason why I know it exists.
Well, I guess I can finally get some use out of this. Thank you, Dominic.
Absolutely. And then turning over to River. Thank you. For Garu. Anyways, anything else that you could possibly need of me?
Potions of healing. The biggest one you have.
That I can do. As he goes out towards the back, and he brings back 2 bottles. They look exactly the same. These will hopefully be my last gift to all of you, should you ever need them in its immediates. 2 potions of supreme healing. And you can see that the entire jar is just etched with golds, and the liquid inside having this very, not that same kind of viscousness that you would notice in most potions, but it's almost as if there are certain magical spells that swirl within these potions. And that's all I have for right now. My friends, it has been a glorious journey to watch all of you. I remember seeing your faces for the very first time, and I've enjoyed our business together quite thoroughly. I will be here for as long as I can, and if you need me, you may always come back.
Been a great help, Dominic. If we survive all of this, come party with us.
It'll be a blast.
Yep.
You can see the smile through the goateed face and through the pushed back hair. This silver and blue lined suit. You can see that there was a slight regret in the idea of leaving after a year not seeing all of you, but confident that you're here. He comes to stay. And he wishes for your victory. Thank you so much for shopping at Arvelo's Arcane Assets. I hope to see you all again very soon.
Until next time, Dominic.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.
That was weird.
The Dragon Boys share a single brain cell.
Speak for yourself.
As all of you have your last gifts here, we'll return back out into the city. Where do you intend to go?
So, now what?
I'm studying this book for the next couple of days.
I need to do the same with this book here.
Abel, Jans, will you be open to helping each other out, studying each other's books?
Couldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on trying to gain intelligence. Do you need me to get anything in particular?
No, but you should probably at least warn the Church of Bahamut as well as the throne that floating castle is on the way here.
The throne was definitely a plan. I sent some of my students out to try and get what they can, and I plan on giving that to the royalty if I can. I imagine they probably have their hands full.
More than likely. But still a good heads up to something that's going to happen in 3 days, considering it's also a world-ending cataclysm.
Indeed.
And speaking of royalty, I need to get into contact with Dracovania too. And if Sterling has a magic circle, then maybe a quick little visit. Although there is something I might have to do here, at least. But that can be saved for later.
Okay.
What about you, River?
Honestly, I have no idea.
You're helping
Okay.
me then.
I believe so. Everything I get, what I care for the most right now, it's way too far away from here to take care of in 3 days. All my people who I know who could help with this are farther than 3 days, so I can't really do much outside of here.
If possible, maybe I can get Sterling to help make contact with Lowbandle for you.
We cannot take
It's worth a
the,
shot.
we cannot take the risk right now if something were to happen. So,
Well, at least to check in, to let them know that you're here.
we took care of that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
That's what Kanos' message was for.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Alright.
So, the best thing I can do right now is check with Helena regarding the throne, see how they are dealing with the situation.
Okay.
And in meantime, when I have nothing to do, I'll keep training.
Alright. So, River and Helena, you guys will be manning the effort to spread awareness as to the best of your ability. Canis and Daki, you guys will be spending time studying. And Garu, you will be making active efforts to contact home.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay.
Let's start with Canis and Daki, as you guys are returning back to the Matilius household. You do take notice that a lot more people are talking very openly about what is coming from the south. There is panic that is starting to set in. If not for the effort of the guards and many of the individuals that try and maintain order around here, things would get out of hand very quickly. But some of the more worried prospects of what's coming, people are beginning to move very quickly. Canis and Daki, as you return back to the house, you have an unexpected visitor. A familiar visitor, though, who is standing in front of your gates.
Yeah.
Who dat?
You see a tall man in beautiful and outstanding white robes, long golden hair, and two ruby red eyes standing before you two.
No. Okay. Doggy pauses for a moment.
Oh, don't worry, I have no intention of starting something here. At least not in this, as he passes one hand through the other form. Incorporeal.
Why are you even here?
To give you all one last chance. Providence, if you will.
What is it?
Back at Hollengrad, I had promised you all an opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to be more. A brand new world where each and every one of you could possibly have something significantly more than what the gods can give you now. But I was turned down. For obvious reasons. You feel like that there is no pull, no catch. And I'm here to make that offer again, only this time things are going to be a bit different.
What are you even thinking?
Not a thought. I've already done it. Well,
Wait,
9 out of 10 is still a good number, but I've already done it.
done it?
He's already on his way here with the castle. He's just giving us one last chance to join him. So what is it do you think that you can add that'll change our minds?
You see, the problem is that when you ascend, people need to believe in you. Need to know that you have power to solidify your godlike status. And while I do have a mass amount of my own people that do believe in me, I feel like the world needs to hear my message. And so I will. Right now, my castle is not just only moving towards this capital. It's gaining altitude. So you have one of two choices. You join me, and you will see a brand new universe where each and every one of you can frolic along the lands as much as you like, just knowing that I will see everything. Or, if you even have a chance at beating me, I will plummet Lumeria down into the earth like a swift and magnificent sword. My Ragnarok. And your world will die in fire and brimstone.
You know, I think I get you now. I think I get you. I think I totally get you. She closes her fist and slams her hand again. I think I get you now. You're a narcissist. You're a narcissist that if you don't get your way, you'll make everyone suffer.
Seems like a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. So, I have a new option. I think you forgot another option. The other option is we go in there, we kill you, and we stop your castle from crashing this town. And then you'll be a little speck in history. That's the option that we're gonna go with. Now, if you excuse us, we have some reading to do.
As both of you walk past him, just one more thing.
And that would be?
I recommend looking up to the night sky tonight. I have something wonderful to show all of you. He sees, he turns towards all of you. You hear the slight laugh, and he begins to dissipate from the air.
Creep.
And I'm related to him.
Sometimes you can't choose your family, Canis.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Besides, I have some we have some reading to do.
We do. Best not get distracted again.
Mhm.
Alright. So you guys head in. Placing upon the glasses on your faces. Sitting from across each other at the table, you see Isaac as he's beginning to kind of back and forth with meals, drinks, and various things to help you all study. Your eyes and mind begin to absorb information unlike any other. And the process of understanding spells and also, an ancient tome, things become clearer as you begin to study. And then at a certain point, Canis, after your time, you take off your glasses and you kind of have to breathe a bit because there's a lot of old primordial history within this book. And as well as you, Daki, as understanding the complicated nature of each of these spells, one is starting to look much darker as an option, but very last resort option. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
River and Helena, as you guys begin to hear the outpouring of information coming from your guild, as well as trying to get any information towards the king and the higher-ups.
Mm-hmm. We just want to know how they're going to be dealing with this, if they have any plan, so we can plan ahead regarding the next 2 days.
So far, your contact on the upper echelons is not hard to get to, but there is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Alernon is at war with the Celsium.
Oh my fucking god. It's a castle in the sky, assholes.
And they have sent many, many troops in order to defend borders. They are at naval warfare, and there are just boots and knights on the ground in a Celsium as much as there are a few here. And it is spreading them thin. These are two very wide countries. The castle appearing just this week is beginning to push the limits of what the inner city is capable of. Even though it's a metropolis, it is still a lot of people. And right now, they don't even know how to even deal with this castle. Also, another piece of information comes a little bit later into the day. There's a breakdown in a chain of command.
What happened?
The king has gone missing.
Hold on.
It's like the song End of Evangelion comes all tumbling down.
Alright. The second Helena hears that, she's gonna drop and she's gonna scry on the king.
As your mind reaches into the back, I need them to make... What was the DC for the...
Reasonably certain it was 16. Hold on.
16?
I think it was. Hold on.
Okay.
Because I don't think I actually technically had a spell save.
We were talking about it last game. That's probably what escaped me in my notes.
I know.
I think it was 16.
I think it was too.
I think it was 16. So, Helena, as you use the circlet in order to try and reach and find the king, your mind pulls into the sky, and a sharp pain in your brain just it envelops it as your mind is shot back into your head. Something is rejecting your ability to scry.
I can't see him. But, that said, I think that still answers my question.
You think he's in there?
I think so. Hold on, I want to see this other, what the heck this other spell is that I have.
So you think he was kidnapped or he went there?
It's possible. Considering that he managed to infiltrate the Queen's office, as another person, I wouldn't be surprised if you were capable of doing the same thing there.
Yeah.
Does my spy network tell me like what the kingdom is basically doing without the king at this point now?
Right now, all commands, at least in the war effort, are currently being heralded by the generals. As per how to handle this brand new situation, without the king, it is nearly impossible to direct any of the local efforts right now.
Yeah, so we are going to have no support from the kingdom.
So, I know that the king has a daughter. Have they said what she's doing?
Right now, with even through the immediance of, who steps up when somebody goes missing, there is a process to that will take at least the rest of the day until they can figure out where the king is at this point. Marva Centennial is a very powerful man in and of himself, but there is a lot of confusion, danger, and with a breakdown of command, it can cause chaos.
Must be something to keep in mind. I'm going to tell my network to basically continue to keep their eyes out. And out of mild curiosity, do I know if this city has tunnels, like, under?
You are aware that the city does have a local tunnel system, mainly for sewage and various other things. However, you're also mainly aware that there is a tunnel system that is directly connected to some underground organizations.
Mm-hmm. They might need to... With all this information, River, what do you think? Do you think we should talk to the other Thieves Guild?
I mean, that's the only local support we're going to have. The kingdom is gonna be able to do nothing right now.
I'm inclined to agree.
I know they might hate you right now, but end of the world. Maybe they're going to think otherwise.
Can only hope. We also need to tell Richard Bahamut. Canis wanted us to give them a heads up, and maybe, just maybe, they might have more support as well.
That one is actually a lot easier. Due to that form of command, there are plenty of clerics and paladins that are currently at the behest of the leadership. As it is current right now, you probably could be well and aware that Canis is probably in the highest form of command, considering he has been championed by Bahamut.
Yeah, so after we get all that information, Helena is going to speak into her ring, Canis.
Yes.
There's a problem.
Indeed.
The king is missing.
Of course he is.
I can't see him. I can only imagine the worst.
That makes it all the more concerning.
I know you're busy right now, but when you are done with what you're doing, it might be worth going to see them.
True.
No, it's not something you want to hear, but you're probably one of the highest people on the chain right now.
You're probably not wrong. Great. And I've been missing for the past year.
It's just
All the more for me to do.
Well, we'll manage to get through it, dear. Just keeping you on the up and up.
Thank you.
We're going to go to the Thieves Guild and see if we can possibly get more support from them. Hopefully. Maybe, if they don't want to kill me.
Good luck.
And to you.
And with that, Helena and River, as your guys' endeavors to seek out as much information currently going on within the kingdom, there's more information that will come. It's just right now, you guys are at a bit of a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
I will assume you start making your way to the Eclipse Eye.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well then.
Like, the main idea, at least for Red right now, is if we are going to have no support or anything, don't want to spend these 3 days trying to do something. Like, the 2 days working, and then see if we think about intercepting the city before it gets here, or...
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well then, we'll put a pin in that, and we'll move to Garu. Garu, what are you doing right now?
I take he is currently like over with Sterling, trying to like present himself, get himself presented and ready, like for a little meeting with the royals in Jacobania.
All right.
So you do have a magic circle, right?
It in the works. It will at least take you back to the Grimlock house. I'm relatively sure your family has been missing to see you, and also, on top of that, I have a request, a personal one.
Oh, certainly, Sterling. What is it?
You can see he's kind of turned into a bit of a statue right now as he's kind of...
Oh, so now we can sell Sterling. Ooh.
The way you've detailed the possibility of an end of the war, I've thought about it, and I've also been relatively worried without you being here for the past year.
And my apologies for that. And none of us knew that we would be gone for a year. I'm still quite mad about that.
I can only imagine a year would pass in the blink of a god's eye, but I was wondering if everything is said and done and you do win.
When we win.
When you win.
He's gonna do a little smile.
I was wondering if you would like to go on a very nice dinner date.
Oh, that would be lovely.
And not with your family. Just you and me.
Oh, well, it certainly seems like fun regardless. And please, allow me to treat. You've done so much work over the past year, then it's the least I can do, right?
You begin to hear the footsteps inch closer towards you and grabs your hand.
Oh?
Master Garu. I expect you to come back alive.
You're not only gonna expect that, but I'll be back in one piece.
He's gonna like tightly like grip his hand.
All right.
And do a little smile.
To Dracovania, then.
Right. And just to make sure that there's no more travel discrepancy, this is a two-way street, right? I can come there and back?
He tries to point towards the floor, remembering that that's not gonna assist him in any way. It'll be an easy measure. Just have to go back to your house, and then the teleportation circle will let you back through. Just let me know in advance.
That's perfect.
All right.
Alright. Alright then. I'm ready.
See you in a minute. As he steps backwards and pulls you over this magic circle, it glows and your body begins to shift in place. And motion sickness sets in, as anybody would when they get viciously teleported through magic. From one feeling of the air to another, this place being much thinner. As you breathe, you hear some clattering of glass and the exertion of winds beginning to calm. And you hear familiar voices.
Hello? Well, it isn't Master Garu. Brothers, well, I have no idea.
Yeah, we're still figuring that out. It's great to see you again.
And he's gonna like grab her hand, and do a little bow.
It is good to see you too. I've been digging, not just only in the ground, but also I've been digging in some medical research and figuring out more about our lineage, as well as the random appearance of a certain new kind of dragon. We didn't even know they existed, but they're there, at least within the underground. What? Oh, yes! Yes, they're
oh my
quite
goodness,
different.
that's a lot!
Yes.
So there's more family members?
No, not really. Just a random research note that I found out about and also dug up and accidentally nearly got killed. It's nothing to worry about. Anyway,
My goodness, are you alright?
Yeah, it's fine. Anyways, it's good to see you. Why are you back home? It's been so long. I thought you were going to stay away a little bit longer for a while.
Well, my intention wasn't to be gone for a year. Well, let's just say that we had a godly encounter.
Oh, that's fun.
I've actually come... Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
But
well.
anyways, I wanted to check in on everyone and, well, have an audience at the king.
Oh, well, all you have to do is just show up. I'm relatively sure he'll have a few words for you.
Certainly. But for now, what about the others? Are they alright?
Ah, yes,
And she's kind of pulling you through the room as you see many members, not that you can see, it's just that the feeling that many of the members within the house are currently arranging themselves to do things, like handling the in and out works, as well as taking in certain requests for adventuring aspects, as well as delving deeper into the research of figuring out more about your family's blood curse. This house is much more livelier than you guys had started out on. And when you originally met Aaliyah, you remember it was just cold and isolated. But here it's warm and active. And everyone seemingly fitting into their place is very interesting.
Garu's gonna call out to everyone. Ilya! Freya! Stark, Tantix, Manafort. Are you all here?
As all of them begin to kind of poke out, singly, like, all saying the same word, Garu! As all of them begin
goodness.
to huddle huddle out towards you, and they're
Garu,
just
like,
giving you
Garu's gonna
notes
go
and
in for a
talking.
hug, but like he's gonna extend his wing arms and like wrap around them all.
All of them collectively go, "Whoa!"
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Whoa.
Anyways,
You can see as they're all just like kind of looking and inspecting and telling you and talking to you and talking about research and the brand new efforts and also just so much information before it just all kind of comes down to a quiet as you just kind of raise your arms down, just like, all right, one at a time.
oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad to see that you're all alright. Has the crowd been keeping its promise? Are you all being treated well?
And you see as Freya approaches, actually, yes, they've been very helpful in gaining gaining what we've been asking for. It's been a long form of research, but we're getting there. And to be quite honest, it's kind of interesting to find out what we're finding out.
Well, I'm not concerned about the research right now. I'm mostly worried about your well-being.
She approaches. They have been coming by and letting me walk around the city, and I've been allowed to plant some new flowers in the garden. I've been making some herbs for very delightful teas, and I've even gotten the opportunity to sell a few.
That's wonderful.
Yes, it seems like the guards beyond the gates are very, very much enjoying what I'm growing, and I'm very proud of it.
That's quite a relief. And what about the rest of you? Have you been getting your, have you been getting your dues?
They've let me go back into the Underdark 3 times. That's 3 times more than I asked for.
Oh, well, that's good. What about Tactics, MacLeod? How are you handling this?
Manafort and Tertex begin to approach. We've been helping with the effort and assuring our house is gaining some form of patronage, as well as making sure that the books are balanced. We've gone on a couple of adventures throughout the year and doing relatively well. Not a lot of money, but still capable of not just only fixing up the household, but also making sure all the mouths are fed. And also
That's
our
wonderful.
investigation and finding out more about living family members so far are going relatively well.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm glad to see that you're all alright. You're gonna have to tell me about some of those adventures later.
Yes. As you were saying, you had to head off to the castle. Well?
Right. It has been a year after all, and there have been some major developments.
Well then, you might as well get a move on, brother. He pats your back.
Right. Well, maybe, brother. We're still... Have you really figured out the family tree yet?
You see the very old and very raggedy Grimwalk as she approaches.
No! Our records were burned decades ago, so it's hard to really determine who was born from where and who's connected to who. At this point, we've just we've all taken the opportunity to just kind of assure that maybe about our age, maybe many of us are just, well, everyone refers to me as Grandma. And all of you are my grandchildren, so it's a nice, warm family stasis that we're in.
Well, I suppose a good family stasis is better than, well, anything else, but that's great. Well then. I'll be sure to be back before dinner.
All right, see you when you return. I'm making bee stew.
Bee stew?
She means a honey stew, but just Just try not to ask.
Oh, are there bees involved?
Where do you think the honey's come from?
I meant as a like an ingredient, but okay.
Bee stew for everyone!
And as you leave, you're finally leaving the house, you begin to walk briskly towards the main castle of Dracovania.
A copious amount of bees will fix the
Fix that
situation.
A copious amount of bees always fix the situation.
So as you begin to make moves towards the main castle, as you begin to approach, there are definitely Dracovanian guards who are curiously wondering why you are immediately here after so long. And after giving some thorough explanation, they allow you to pass as you begin to enter. You begin to hear whispers throughout the entirety of the castle.
Can Garu hear them?
You definitely can.
What do they say then?
They are noting that the king is missing.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess, like, once he goes through the proper channels of, like... Well, like, if the king's not here, then I guess he's, like, going to the next best person, I guess. So either the prince or the princess?
Minerva is readily available as she has taken the pedestal throne in the main room. As you begin to approach. Garu, it has been a great deal of time.
Indeed it has, and I apologize. There was an issue with when we had an audience with the gods, and it seems like it took a little bit longer than we expected, but I'm here now.
He's gonna, like, go on one knee and, like, just bow.
Raise your head, Garu. I'm not queen yet. Nor that I want to be.
Yes, but from what I've been hearing, it seems like you and your brother are the only ones in charge here. Is the king truly gone?
He went missing this morning. And as far as I'm aware, my brother has been helping along with the war efforts over the course of the past year. He has put into contact ever since I messaged him about the matter with our father, but right now, everything is in chaos. Things are unstable. Things are becoming unstable within the kingdom very quickly, and we are trying to hold to the best of our ability. But if there is no quick solution, things could turn out very, very badly.
They could. In fact, that's what I came here to tell you about. In fact, putting the pieces together, I can only assume where your father truly is.
And he's going to relay all the information about the castle moving towards Orario. Like, the whole... Like, he's not gonna, like, give the full details, but, like... He's just gonna mention that the castle's going there, to the Lumerian, and that they're gonna stop him in 3 days.
It is strictly my duty to assure that Dracovania is to remain as protected as possible. But we're going to have to overexert ourselves in this effort.
Well, if I can only get the favor of a few of the generals, then I won't take too much. Besides, the heavy lifting is up to me and my friends. So long as we can stop the king, then everything will fall into place. But we have to get there first.
She approaches
If it's possible. Oh.
She approaches you down into a humanoid form as she simply steps to you. Master Garu Grimlock, I will assure you there will be an army waiting for Lumeria, should it come to that. As long as I stand and as long as I am breathing, all war efforts, not just only within Excelsium, will be made towards Lumeria. I will send our mightiest of generals in order to assist you with this. However, it will not be with the same intensity as before.
That's perfectly fine. All we need is a single opportunity.
Very well. I'll send down the order. As she hands you a stone. Speak into this when it is ready, in time. But we will begin our move tomorrow morning.
Right. You have my many thanks.
Many thanks to you. Is there any place that you need to be right now?
Well, I mostly came here to relay the news and check on my family. And it seems like everything is in order, on that front at least.
Very well. Well then, if you wish for me to send you homeward, I can do that.
Right. Although, I might want... If it's possible to give a quick warning to a friend. Well, at least to Sterling.
Very well. As you see her close her eyes and open them again, he is aware.
Perfect. And I'll be on my way.
Very well.
Although, is there anything you want me to do when I'm there in Orario? Outside of, like, letting you know when it's ready.
Try and speak to any of the generals there. If we can communicate our efforts together, we can certainly move as one.
I take it this stone is a way of communication?
Correct.
Right. If that's the case, then I'll be sure to keep you informed.
Very well. Godspeed, Garu.
Godspeed to you, princess.
And he's gonna do the like fucking Dracovania babble with his wing arms.
House Grimlock will not disappoint.
You've evolved.
I suppose so. Getting quite... To be honest, I didn't really expect it. I couldn't even see it at first. Well, if I really want to evolve, there's one thing I have to do. Feel. But in due time.
Very well. As she gives you a bow and thanks for this information and everything that you have done, she begins to prepare her efforts in order to assist you with whatever comes with the malaria. And as you return back to your house, you spend time with your family, and the teleportation circle begins to glow once again, waiting for you to return.
He's
That
gonna,
being noted-
like, I take it that everyone's just walking there, like, he still got, like, a drumstick in his hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, hey, thanks, guys.
I hope you enjoyed
That's-
the bee stew.
It was delicious. It's glad to see that you're all alright despite all your various adventures. I'm kind of surprised about what you did to that tiger, though.
you could see as Manafort kind of just flexing his muscles a bit. All right.
Well then, we'll be meeting again soon. Just know everything's gonna be alright.
Alright. So, that noted, Docky and Canis, back to you guys. It has been several hours of reading and processing information. Docky, the breakdown of those spells becomes much clearer in this time.
Mm-hmm.
The first spell, as it details, is an act to chain the intended recipient of the spell to the divine gates, which basically will strip them of a lot of their power and pretty much just hold them between the realm of the prime material plane and many of its subsequent realms, and then also the realm of the gods. However, this endeavor includes a sacrifice.
Okay.
This is if all things truly do fail. And this endeavor can be pretty costly. It has a very high DC, and it's not easy to escape. But it will chain the Lumerian to the Divine Gates. But those chains have to be made of something. The second spell is a little bit more detailed, as it will vault a person into the astral. And it will vault them so far that it would take millennia to return. This will also put them in a form of stasis. This spell requires the destruction of items. This would mean that there would probably be something that you or many personal individuals around you would own would cease to exist and would also be removed, as it does take fragments of primeval to cast this spell as material.
So if I understand this correctly, it requires the most valuable item in that person's inventory to use as a sacrifice to use a spell. Is that correct, or am I skipping some details?
So this spell, basically, if you're trying to vault somebody and put them into an abyssal stasis, it would cost at least 3 fragments of primeval in order to do so.
Primeval.
So everyone here has a fragment of primeval, you carrying 2 of them. As per the last spell, this needs to be timed perfectly. Basically, it is a grand counter spell against the Ragnarok project. At the very moment in which the Ragnarok project begins to open, it will then jolt back that energy to a person in a weakened state. And keep in mind, all 3 of these spells need to have the person, the recipient, to be weakened. And weakened can mean bloody.
Oh.
And this one means that it will use the energy of the Ragnarok project itself and counter back to the person using it. Basically, it will particleize the recipient. It will split him and destroy and make him incorporeal.
Okay.
But this is at the last possible moment you can use that spell.
Let's
so
see.
You have 3 options.
This. Canis, you still have your primeval, right?
I do, yes. It's the shield I carry. What of it?
If the time comes, will you be willing to say goodbye to it?
Yes.
Okay, then. Then I think we might be able to stop this guy.
That's all it'll take?
Well, if I read the spell correctly, well, there are various options, but I'm gonna just tell you the option that I feel comfortable telling you right now. There's a spell in which if we weaken him, we can use 3 pieces of primeval and actually basically particularized a guy.
No.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again. Repeat that. Sorry,
So the first spell, somebody has to be sacrificed. The second spell, pieces. Somebody has to be sacrificed to chain somebody to the divine gate. The second spell defines that if you use 3 pieces of the fragments of prime evil, it can vault somebody into the astral and put them in a stasis for an elongated amount of time.
Okay.
General saw flying playing card.
It should also be noted that the dragon did tell us about all 3 spells.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the last one is basically you turn the weapon against him using magic. And the very weapon that also split Mistra.
Either way, we have our options, Canis. Just that if things go really south, I might have to say goodbye to everyone.
You're willing to do that?
It's not a matter of railing. It's more like I probably will need to. She clutches her book. Like, I really don't want to do that. I really don't. I really don't want to just end it all. But if it really means making sure everyone stays alive, or as many people stay alive as possible, I guess I'll just deal. She starts trembling a little bit because she really doesn't want to do it, but she knows that she might have to.
I'll make sure that you don't have to come to the last resort. I promise you that.
Thanks, Canis. She starts slapping her cheeks to regain herself. Okay. Stop being Debbie Downer. You can do this. Let me just keep reading.
All right. As you begin to read the book more, there are definitely spells made available from this book. And even through all your research, there are some pages that can't be read because of the limitation of your abilities, but there is a level of confidence. You feel strangely warm, as if blanketed. Like somebody is there to help, to guide you. Canis, as you begin to come close to the end of researching throughout this book, the knowledge of your ancestors, the details of the history of those who have committed acts of heroism. In its last page, you take note that there is a story of a tiefling girl that is very familiar to the story told of Aria, goddess of the silver string and truth. Its history how she was born, her mother, her father, the death of Lolth. As the story ends, she made a very difficult decision. She gave up her very body, her mortal body, not just only to ascend, but also to assure Tiamat would never walk the prime material plane again, binding her. While her soul was that of a mighty goddess, her body was still that of a mortal. As the book comes to a close and your mind begins to clear, Daki, you see above Canis a faint halo of light.
Canis?
Hmm?
This... Do you see what's above you?
You'll look up.
As you look up, there is a halo of light. And it kind of does move with your head, and it's just slightly out of your peripherals, but it's there.
Well, that's new.
What is that? She tries to poke it.
It is very bright, very warm, and almost very kind.
Maybe that's something from reading the book.
Maybe.
I
Let's
wonder if I can
see.
get rid of that. It'd be inconvenient if I just had this floating around all the time.
I mean, I don't know. You say you got that from reading the book?
I suppose.
Like,
Although Garu did just grow wings out of nowhere, I suppose this is me having something similar.
Maybe. Maybe everyone's having an effect from those blessings.
It could be from that, yes. So what kind of mutation are you, River, and Helena going to get?
I mean, I don't feel anything right now.
I don't
mean,
really feel this.
I mean, other than, I guess I understand magic spells a bit better these days.
I guess it made you smarter in a sense.
I wonder if River's gonna turn into a furry creature again.
Well, that wouldn't exactly be from the blessing. That's just from the werewolf.
It is to note that you can dismiss it, should you so desire.
Just think about it.
Yeah. As you think about it, it just... So you gain all the benefits and abilities that come from the Book of Exalted Deeds.
Yes.
It is to the Halo, just... Alright. So, as you guys finish up your reading session, Helena and River.
So, if things get to worse, we sacrifice Daki, right?
Don't know how that works.
Just
I feel like
random cut.
I feel like that'd be an awfully bad taste considering, but I don't know how the spell works. I don't know if the person who casts it has to do it, or if one of us has to do it, and frankly, I'd rather avoid that, to be perfectly honest.
I know, I'm joking.
I really
So,
feel bad enough as it is.
yeah,
You guys...
entire scene.
You guys are deep within the underground, kind of just talking out loud amongst each
Yeah.
other, and you do notice the slight eyes of certain people down here are beginning to take notice that there is Helena Athronis, the master of her guild.
Your name is Hathronis.
Yes. I know I've said my last name to you, haven't I?
I keep forgetting about it.
I mean, I have one. There it is.
As you guys begin to walk through with what looks like to be corridors of people beginning to just kind of go back and forth, a lot of hands are exchanging, a lot of talking is going on. There is a certain air of panic going on here.
Yeah, it looked like they're not doing well over here.
Seems not. What a pity.
You guys
Kind of
hearing the voice, a very familiar voice, at least to you, Helena. It is quite a pity that all of you are here, at least now.
Now what is that supposed to mean?
You turn and see it is a cloaked man, his hood well pulled over past his eyes. It is a Hassan who has presented himself in front of all of you. I was hoping that you would have been away a little bit longer and wouldn't be good for business, but with everything happening now, business is not going to be looking good for too long. Why are you here?
Well, business is not going to look great after 2 days. It's the, the end of times, but
In fact, we're hoping to improve your business.
Oh, like you've already tried to improve my business by cutting into it?
She shrugs.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Listen, I told you that I would like to work amicably, and here I am, trying to work amicably.
He begins to approach, and you begin to kind of feel like there is something different about this man than before. And I told you, that's not how things work around here.
So you don't want to improve your business?
My goddess.
A shame, a pity. I had really hoped. And she starts to walk around and back towards the exit. Come along, River.
Very well.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I actually think I got a bless. I think I actually have. What time of day is it?
It is getting closer towards the nighttime, so for the sake of brevity, it is past afternoon, so you're looking at dusk.
So it's still day.
Yeah, it's gonna be day.
Okay. Where is... Oh, no, that's right, that's feats. Hold on, I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah.
Daytime. I have advantage on persuasion checks.
Yeah.
It was not great, though. 11.
11. Yes, it is truly a damn shame. As he turns around to you. I'm not here to listen to your proposal, but I am here to listen. He kind of
She looks back at him.
You can see as he's raised his head, the slight greenish glowing tinge in his eye. We've had amicable relations before. I'm not here to do business.
Well, yeah, it's not entirely about... It's not exactly about doing business, rather protecting the business, since otherwise there's going to be nothing left to make business out of.
That's what she said. And if it makes you feel better, it's not even necessarily business with me.
Mm-hmm.
It would be business with the city.
Business with the world, at this point.
The city right now is currently undergoing a vicious changing of hands.
I'm already aware.
Which we
She
are
smiles.
taking advantage of.
Oh, I have no doubt. How much do you know about this current threat?
As much as anybody else does.
I am concerned that he is going to be doing a great deal of damage to the city. Wondering if you would be willing to use your tunnels, whatever tunnels you can, to get those who are innocent and incapable of fighting to escape.
You're asking to open the doors of the Eclipse Eye.
Yes. Think about it. If the city dies, your business dies. But if you help them, think about it. You'll be heroes.
You can kind of see the eyes slightly roll a bit. And kind of processing.
They'd know who to go to.
Your name will carry a lot of weight amongst people doing business.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, as a player, I don't know much about business, so I'm just picturing this in my head like the cat from Lego. Business, 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 numbers.
You can see as he begins to approach and he pulls back his hood. For the first time you guys see the face of Hassan. His hair very bright, and towards the ends you see greens. His eyes glow, much like Canis, and his very presence almost emanates celestial being. I would like to test my luck on this.
He likes
For the
testing
first-
what?
I'd like to test my luck on this.
In what way?
We open this door. We let the people within the city start flooding into my tunnels, housing themselves, wading through the battering of the winds that come. And say that we win. What other benefits would this entail, aside from name and glory?
Being alive.
No, he wants very specific. And
I
I assume she smiles from me. Would you like less competition? Is that what you're asking me?
No. See, Elena, I am old. I have done this for a very long time. There's never been somebody as forceful as you. I need a protege. I need somebody that is going to outlive me. This competition, that's the small game. I need somebody that can expand to the world, not just a country. And I also need a very keen individual who'd be more than happy to put somebody down should they be asked. If you accept, I will help. And I'll also put into consideration a debt paid by Canis. Should you decline, the doors will remain closed.
Now, how can I possibly say no? She'll hold out her hand.
You're gambling with your life. I like that. As he clasps your hand together. May the goddess of luck be with you.
May Sahani be with you. She winks.
As he turns towards all the rogues, nearly hundreds of them here. They've been staring at you guys without you noticing at first. And he looks down and he smiles. One day they will all be yours. Let's get to work.
Not even with the 24 passive perception.
Yeah.
It's
Come on,
good.
man. I worked hard to get that number.
So tense.
Hundreds of eyes on
I
your
worked
guys'
so
back.
hard to get that number.
Alright. Oh, instead of making a deal, you ended up getting dealt. Hassan will remember that.
Helena just leans down to River. That worked way better than I expected.
Yeah, I was ready for a fight. Not gonna lie. It's getting excited.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, I was absolutely ready to teleport us out of here if we needed to.
Also, all right, never mind. I just realized
Yeah.
why you're in trouble with this guy. And we're like, yeah, didn't we hang out with him before? Oh no, wait, you're just competition.
Yeah, you nearly screwed the pooch on that one. Anyways. Garu, you return back home. Or within Canis' home. And you see an awaiting Sterling. Hopefully that went as well as I thought it would. Or think.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
it went perfectly, Sterling. Everyone's alright, although the king is missing there too. I guess you wouldn't know that yet, so the king is missing. And I think I have an idea where he might be.
That is concerning.
It is.
Let's get everyone together and try and figure out what to do next.
Right. But before that, I have a personal... Well, I was gonna ask if we can, arrange a meeting of the generals, but if we're meeting everyone there together, then I might as well do something more personal.
He's gonna pull out the tuning fork that he got from Paylor.
Sterling, is there some sort of, temple or what's it called? Is there some sort of temple or assembly of Paylor here? Even a small one.
I'm sure there are a few, but I don't think that's gonna help us immediately right now.
Well, it's not gonna help it's not gonna help us, but it might help me.
Master Garu, I think it would probably be for the best, at least for the time being, to stay here until we can sort this all out. If we still need to go see Paylor, we can, but probably not for today.
Oh yes, of course not for today. I was just gonna ask a personal favor from you to do a little bit of extra research, to see which one would be best to, well, do the deed.
Alright.
If we're gonna be doing this, then I need to be as strong as possible. And according to Paylor himself, I still have one last trial to go through.
Alright. That I can definitely help with. He takes the tuning fork.
Thank you. Well then, let's meet up with the others, shall we? There's a lot to tell them.
Alright. All of you begin to reconverge within Canis's home. So all of you approach. The night comes.
Well, some very interesting things happening today.
Yeah. I didn't know the king would be gone here, too. It just definitely puts more pieces to the puzzle together.
Wait, what do you mean two?
What? Oh, I thought we already,
Oh.
like,
Gone over
like,
that detail.
like, on top of the game, I thought we were just, like, telling, like, each other what we found today.
Garu's the Rakshasa! Garu's the Rakshasa!
Kill him. Do it.
It was me!
Kill him now.
It was Garo all along.
It was me!
It was
About,
Garu
like,
all along!
Like, out of character, I thought we all basically just, like, for the sake of brevity, converged and told each
That's
other what
fine.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a second.
Well,
On the flip side, we have Dracovania on our side, but we just have to tell the generals.
we do also have the Eclipse Eye as well. Which reminds me, Canis, apparently you had a debt to them.
I did, yes. That was
Don't
back when...
worry. It's gone now.
What did you do?
She slowly leans back with her arms on the back of the chair and crosses her legs. I am now the future leader of the Eclipse Eye.
I don't see how that pays my debt. That seems like you getting a reward for something.
Well, from what I gather, what he wanted was a protege. I can only assume that maybe he was going to ask you to assist in that endeavor.
Either that or he's uncharacteristically generous right now.
What to say? I will admit that I was rather surprised about it as well. I was more than prepared to have to disperse my little guild before it even started, but lo and behold, I get a much larger one.
Congratulations.
No, thank you, dear. Though, still a bit early for congratulations after all. We need to make sure that we actually survive.
Although now that you mention that both the King of Dracovania and Orario are gone, it's rather concerning that Roya met with both me and Doggy earlier today.
He did?
He did?
He did.
Yep.
What did he say?
Join him. Oh, go ahead, Cadence.
He was giving us one more chance to join him. And on top of that, he also said he needed everyone else to believe in his power.
It's interesting that he keeps trying.
He also mentioned that if all of this fails, he will have the palace crash down on Orario and attempt to kill the planet. Like a toddler throwing a tantrum when he lost.
I can't get a read on that guy. What does he want?
He's
He
just
wants
a he's just a narcissist. That's what it boils down to.
He wants everything to be his, and if he's not allowed it, he doesn't want anyone to have anything.
That's more or less the read I'm getting. But it is...
Vigilant child.
It is true that I don't understand why he wants us.
Probably because we're the only threat to him.
Maybe.
Likely.
Considering that he has both the King of Dracovania and the King of Orario, I'm half wondering if any of the other royalty is in danger. Just out of mild curiosity, how many other royal lines are there around?
There are many. Keep in mind that there are definitely different forms of leadership, but especially...
Okay, this is kind of stupid, but what if he's trying to get the, in big quotation marks, best of the best? Getting the rich, getting the royal families, getting some of the strongest adventurers he can get on his side.
Now, I'm wondering if part of the spell requires the royal family, or he requires us to complete a spell.
Theoretical possibility. Yarrow, when I scryed on him earlier in the morning, I feel like I remember you mentioning that there were bodies around him, like the other versions of himself. Do I recall seeing royalty at all?
You do not.
Do I recall seeing if his other versions were active? Moving, talking, whatever it is you want to say.
They were all very almost stasis-like they were awaiting for a command. With that noted, as the moon begins to rise, you guys begin to hear a low rumble, almost as if it cracks through the night sky itself. It shakes the very world beneath all of you, and you can hear screaming in the streets.
Neat time to go out.
As all of you begin to leave, you can see just the cresting of the tower, the highest peak that is Lemuria. You also see a massive image that is just over the city. The very form of the Lemurian as he stares down. And you can see that shining light, that form, almost peeking in several different areas, different places. And almost as if like a camera, you can see that there is the entirety of the throne room. People of Earthsea, for millennia you've all bickered and squabbled. You've looked to false prophets and sought gods as sovereign, as a means to seek providence. Before me this very day, I bring you all your very well entrusted royalty. Kings and queens and emperors and sultans from across your lands. You see in his hand as it appears a mighty blade in hand. But there is a beauty to a clean world. A better world. As he drives the blade into the first head as it clatters to the ground and he pulls back, blood splattering across all over the beautiful white robes. I will wipe this world clean. And if you cannot believe in my words, then definitely believe in my actions. And do not dare to believe in gods. Another head gets lopped off. You see, I intend to rule you all properly this time. Like I was supposed to before, and the blade drives into another person, and it pulls back. I couldn't get all of you to believe me with just words or just little actions anymore. You see, this time, you can blame all your failures on those who came before you, and another person is severed. And he stops at the last head. He grabs it by the hair, pulling it up. You guys see the King of Orario in hand. You see, you no longer have to wonder what the gods will do to save you all. Because there is only one God. And I'm not gonna listen anymore. He stabs the blade through the king as he begins to... the blood spilling out from his mouth. As it pulls back the blade, you hear the clattering. Maybe if you pray. Maybe. You all have 2 days. Your kings and queens are dead. You can run. You can hide. But when I am done, and almost as if staring down to you, Canis, the words you've heard before, the only thing left living in this world will be God and metal. The image begins to deteriorate through the sky, almost like tiny knives just scattered across the ground. A few moments begin to pass as you begin to realize that the night begins to fill with echoes of screams from around the world. Roya has showed that he is a god to be reckoned with.
So I got very confused. Where did we see this?
He basically put up a projector in the moon.
Ah, gotcha.
Well, so much for the theory about using the queens and queens for his spell.
No. I was right. He was just using it to do a show of force.
We'll take everything.
As successful as a show that might have been, he isn't completely in the win.
No, but I do assume that he's as much of an egotist that he'll probably display when we show up to his front door.
Good. Let them watch.
There's something else to consider. Still have the queen.
We do. But she's not in much condition to fight right now.
She doesn't need to fight. She can speak.
If we need people to fight, then the generals and armies of Dracovania will be quite angry once they saw their king dead. And I wouldn't blame them. But what we can do here, we need to keep them calm and steady. Have them have faith in us.
Another option. I can possibly see if I can quickly go home.
You want to risk that again? The whole time-lapse thing?
I forget, Yarrow, does the time-lapse affect me?
It does not affect your memory, because you're from the Feywild. What affects... The effect of the time dilation is when you leave the Feywild.
I know, but when I leave the Feywild, does that affect me?
It does. Every person that leaves the Feywild, there's a roll of the dice on what the time dilation is like. Unless you have a very powerful Archfey that can control that.
Yeah. Helene'll take out her mask. The mask from her master, and she's gonna put it on.
Okay.
Hello? Is there anybody there?
You can hear, for the first time, a distant voice. A familiar voice. But it isn't your master. I remember you. It's been a while. Are you done chasing me yet?
Oh. The man in red. Right?
You continue to call me that. I'm a little inclined to show up at your door and probably knock you around a few times.
Just rolls off the tongue nicely.
I'm sure
But
it
to answer your
does.
question, no. I'm not chasing you anymore.
I received this mask as a gift. I'm not exactly sure as to its properties. But I am on the prime material plane once again.
Do you know what's going on?
I saw what happened.
Then I don't suppose I could ask you for a favor.
Considering the world as it is right now, I couldn't be bothered. But yes, I will help.
Could I convince you to go home? And ask for help?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Very well. Hopefully, I won't be too long. And
Good luck.
you no longer hear the voice coming from the mask as you remove it. You all hear once more the screams coming out from the streets, the crying of children, the shouts of everyone scared, concerned, mortified. And for the first time, do you ever feel the sense of isolation, the quiet, and then a storm, much worse than any you have ever faced. Tomorrow you face the dawn of the second day. And that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, everyone's dead. Yay!
Hooray!
Hey.
Hooray! Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Fuck.
And trust you me, those were NPCs.
Yeah.
Those were
I'm only
NPCs.
I'm only upset that I couldn't throw shit at his face, though.
I was trying
I
so
was
hard to figure out
really-
if I had anything to dispel that.
I was
I wanted
really,
to see if I could just throw something at the moon.
I was really tempted to say do a flip, but whatever.
Yeah, so that's where we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's episode. A very somber, very sad ending. So we're gonna go ahead, jump on into some quick announcements for tonight, and then we'll go ahead and say our goodbyes. So, first off, I did not post anything this past week. That is because I was just very, very busy. Me, Quiz, and Ethan are putting together a video to talk about how we made How to Be an Adventurer Episode 10. That will be coming in the next couple of weeks. However, this upcoming week there will be a Friday video. It will be another essay video. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting some help with that in specific, and I also have stuff to record for. I'm not exactly sure just yet. And also, I was in a video today, to which Docky will get to. That being said, that's all I have for tonight. So, Boo, how you now?
Hey there, how's it going? I don't really have much to announce because I pretty much spent the last week focused on commissions so that I can live. But those are over with now, so I'm going to continue posting my webcomic, Sabbath Buster. Though, just for the sake of reading, the updates this week are going to be condensed into a single post on Twitter, but everything will be posted page by page, as always, on patreon.com/BooRadley with a 1-3. So just expect that among some other things, whatever else I can fucking concoct this week. But yeah, Bracky, you have anything in mind?
Hi, I'm Bracky, aka Brachyzoid. I played River, the Halfling Fighter. I don't really have much to announce, other than I'm gonna be doing streams of art and games as soon as my back feels better. Been having some
Stop
issues
sleeping
with
on the
that.
floor. Stop sleeping on the floor, it'll be better.
I'm
You're
not
doing
sleeping
what?
on the floor, but it's so fresh.
The fresh
So-
floor?
It's fresh because it's summer.
It's a fresh, cool
why you
floor.
What? Why is sleeping on the floor so weird to
People
people?
don't sleep
not
on the
weird to
floor in
me.
the summer, Bracky. What do you
Hold
mean?
up! Yo, hold
wait,
up,
wait,
God. Hold up.
wait,
Hold up, Boo.
do you legit sleep on the floor?
Yeah.
Yes!
When it's
What?
when it's really hot, I just put the things on the floor and I lay on the floor because it's colder than the
Just
bed.
put a fucking fan on. Nobody sleeps on the floor during the summer. And
I
I
mean,
lived in Florida.
Disagree.
I mean,
disagree.
to be
Guys,
to be fair,
We are
to be
derailing.
to be fair, there was only 2 times in my life I slept on the floor. When I moved into my first apartment and there was no beds for my family, so I slept on the floor with them, so that way they wouldn't feel left out. And the second time was when I was a kid, I slept on the floor for my new dog. So, but that's still hella uncomfortable, dude.
And you wonder why your back is in literal pieces.
I haven't done that in a while. Miles is just being an asshole.
Yes.
But the thing is, I have been doing some art and everything. I hope to do more streams regarding that this upcoming week. If you play Final Fantasy 14, I'm gonna be doing Final Fantasy 14 a lot because Gold Saucer event is coming up. So it's going to be I'm hoping to properly make him finish a video regarding that for starters, for beginner players. So like a guide for it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't believe I have anything else to announce. So, Caitlin.
Oh, CaitlinC37. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at CaitlinC37, where I do art. Like any pieces done, just let me know. You can find all that information on my Twitter, and then when I do eventually get back to streaming, you can find me doing that, or maybe some games here and there on my Twitch. That's it for me. Now I'll take it away.
Hey, I'm Sir Malorvic. I play Canis, and you can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/Sir_Malorvic. I do stream a variety of games, but I haven't really been streaming much as of late. I don't exactly have a schedule, so really it's just follow and see me when you see me. That's it for me.
Hey, this is Daitumandachi6, aka Daiki. I uploaded a new KWC video in which it was just a Lola bunny rant. You can find that on my channel, Daitumandachi, on YouTube. I haven't been streaming lately because, again, I've been juggling a lot of stuff lately. When I do decide to stream on a day, I usually stream Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays is usually Genshin Impact. Saturdays is just usually whatever these days. And that'll be it for me.
All right. Also, I would like to inform everyone that I'm still playing over on Joe Cat's game for Belcanus Necrohunt. I will be there again on the on this upcoming Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's everything. All right. Nothing else pressing?
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Well then, as always, thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us. We love you all so very much. And as always, we hope to see you next Sunday. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.